This is CBS 8 News Live at 11.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Time now 11:01. I'm Eric Connors.
And I'm Carrie Lane filling in for Neda Iranpour. Right now, climate activists are demonstrating outside of Sempra Energy, the parent company of SDG&E, and they're calling on the White House to declare a climate emergency and demanding Sempra stop exporting and burning fracked gas.
CBS 8's Kelly Hussettall joining us live downtown now to explain what's happening there behind you.
That's right. You know, and activists started gathering about 9 a.m. this morning. If you take a look behind me, you can see they have a chalk drawing in the middle of 8th Avenue. They have blocked off one lane of 8th Avenue here near Island outside of Sempra Energy's headquarters and to call attention to their message.
We broke the heat record, 125,000-year-old heat record, 7 days in a row. Italy was having tornadoes. We have a heat emergency. 1/3 of the United States was covered in a heat emergency. People are dying because they're lying on the sidewalk too long getting burns.
And that was Scott Kelly, a longtime biology professor at SDSU. He's also the co-director of San Diego 350. Now, he says all you have to do is look at how hot it's been lately to see how climate change is intensifying. June, the hottest month ever recorded on record since the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration began keeping records back in 1850. The agency is predicting unusually hot temperatures will occur in most of the U.S. in August as well. Kelly says as a biologist, he knows how important the natural environment is for health and well-being. We need the rainforests, the oceans. He says humans have a limit for how much heat they can withstand. And he says Sempra and SDG&E are part of the problem. He says President Biden needs to step in, declare a climate emergency, and force Sempra to stop exporting and burning fracked gas.
They don't care one bit about human life. They don't care one bit about San Diegans. 1 in 4 San Diegos can't pay their bills because these guys charge us the highest rates in the U.S. They take this money and they've invested it in a climate bomb.
And SDG&E says San Diegans are not paying the highest rates in the country. Now, CBS 8 reached out to Sempra for comment. A spokesperson released the following statement. We share a deep respect for environmental stewardship and believe there are many paths to a sustainable future for all. To that end, Sempra is investing billions in safe, reliable, and resilient networks to connect consumers to increasingly cleaner energy. So back out here live, activists outside demonstrating outside of Sempra's headquarters. San Diego 350 says people need to call on their politicians to do something. Kelly says last year they held a similar rally outside of the headquarters as well, and he says instead of things getting better, things have gotten worse. Kelly Hussettall, CBS 8.
Disruption on a downtown street today as dozens of activists protest against climate change in front of Sempra Energy headquarters. As KPBS reporter Alexander Nguyen shows us, not everyone was a fan of this type of protest.
Dozens of protesters gather in front of the Sempra Energy building in downtown San Diego, armed with chalk to raise the alarm and leave a message for the utility company. Sempra is the parent company of SDG&E and SoCal Gas. They want Sempra to divest from fossil fuels and for President Biden to declare a climate emergency.
This should not be controversial in any way, shape, or form.
Scott Kelly is the director of Raise the Alarm and a biology professor at San Diego State. He says declaring a climate emergency is stating the obvious.
We had Phoenix having record temperature, 11 days in a row of 111 degrees. No one's ever seen this before. We had 7 days of heat that exceeded the records that were set 125,000 years ago. We have hot tub-like temperatures in Florida that are killing the coral reefs.
He says instead of declaring a climate emergency, Biden is expanding oil and gas drilling because of lobbying by companies like Sempra Energy.
They need to stop listening to these guys and start the immediate energy transition to green energy and to renewable energy.
These protesters say climate change is disrupting human life, so they need to be disruptive today. Not everyone is a fan of the disruption. Richard Keeley lives in the building across from Sempra headquarters. He's tired of protesters showing up every few months.
Yeah, I think that's pretty rude.
But disruption is the point.
This emergency needs to be taken seriously.
Sempra says it has a deep respect for environmental stewardship and is investing billions in cleaner energy.
We need clean air, not another billionaire.
Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.
The climate activists rallied outside Sempra Energy headquarters in downtown San Diego today. They're calling on President Biden to declare a climate emergency and demand Sempra stop exporting and burning gas extracted through fracking. Demonstrators were on 8th Avenue near Island as they created a large chalk drawing on the street, blocking the flow of traffic. The protest taking place as San Diegans are paying some of the highest energy rates in America.
Sempra's role is direct in all this. They have been lobbying the government using our money, the money that they take from us from the energy monopoly, to expand oil and gas, especially a frack gas methane empire around the world on our dime that's going to be a climate bomb that's going to boil the planet.
The Sempra released a statement in response saying, "We share a deep respect for environmental stewardship and believe there are many paths to a sustainable future for all. Sempra is investing billions in safe, reliable, and resilient networks to connect consumers to increasingly cleaner energy."
We're with us right now, climate activists demonstrating outside of Sempra Energy. Now, that's the parent company of SDG&E. They're calling on the White House to declare a climate emergency and demanding Sempra stop exporting and burning fracked gas.
CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal, she joins us live downtown with what's happening. And Kelly, it seems a little more quiet than when we met with you about a half hour ago.
Yeah, that's right. That rally just wrapping up. About 40 activists or so had just created a giant chalk drawing there in the middle of 8th Avenue. So temporarily they had stopped traffic from coming down this lane of 8th Avenue. But they are here. They were demonstrating outside of Sempra Energy's headquarters to call attention to their message.
I'm a biologist, and I understand the importance of the natural environment to our health and well-being. We need the rainforest. We need the oceans. We can't have dead fish washing up on shore all the time. And, you know, frankly, people are just going to drop dead because as a biologist, I also understand we're getting to the limit of human endurance for heat.
Now here is a look at the drawing they created from up above. You just heard from Scott Kelly. He is a longtime biology professor at SDSU. He's also the co-director of San Diego 350. And he says all you have to do is look at how hot it's been lately to see how climate change is intensifying. June, the hottest month ever recorded on record since the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration began keeping records back in 1850. The agency is predicting unusually hot temperatures will occur in most of the U.S. in August as well. Now, Kelly says Sempra and SDG&E are part of the problem. He says President Biden needs to step in, declare a climate emergency, and force Sempra to stop exporting and burning fracked gas.
We have waited way too long, and we have to ask Biden and to stop listening to these companies, stop listening to Sempra, who's lobbying with our money to push for their frack gas empire, which is literally a climate bomb that is going to destroy the earth and habitable life. This is no joke.
Now, a spokesperson for Sempra Energy released the following statement. We share a deep respect for environmental stewardship and believe there are many paths to a sustainable future for all. To that end, Sempra is investing billions in safe, reliable, and resilient networks to connect consumers to increasingly cleaner energy. So back out here live, San Diego 350 says people need to call on their politicians to do something. Kelly says they had a similar rally out here last year, and he says instead of things getting better, they got worse. Kelly Hessedal, CBS 8.
¿Qué tal, Fernando? Esta mañana nos encontramos aquí entre la calle 8 y J, enfrente del edificio de Sempra, donde el grupo local ambientalista se ha manifestado enfrente de esta empresa para hacer saber al presidente Biden de que quieren declarar estado de emergencia por crisis ambiental. Aquí estamos viendo a mis espaldas que pues vecinos de la zona están enojados por esta irrupción en sus actividades diarias, ya que usan altavoces. Aquí te tengo todo el reporte completo.
Se lo debemos a los jóvenes para tener un poco de interrupción, porque Sempra Energy, que estamos aquí para protestar, y su corrupción de nuestro gobierno y la corrupción que empuja a la industria de los combustibles fósiles es una verdadera catástrofe. Y están regando todo San Diego y cobrando las tarifas de electricidad más altas de los Estados Unidos.
Un tercio de los Estados Unidos está cubierto por una ola de calor. La gente está muriendo por altas temperaturas en Arizona. Así lo aseguraron miembros de la organización San Diego 350. Urgen a la empresa Sempra Energy deje de exportar y quemar gas extraído mediante fractura hidráulica.
Hay apoyo, hay algunos concejales, hay algunas personas como Sarah Jacobs que copatrocinaron el Green New Deal, pero en realidad no están haciendo lo suficiente.
Activistas justifican estas manifestaciones para hacer el llamado a la comunidad y puedan tener un alcance nacional su solicitud. Por otro lado, Sempra compartió el siguiente comunicado.
Compartimos un profundo respeto por la gestión ambiental y creemos que hay muchos caminos hacia un futuro sostenible para todos. Sempra está invirtiendo miles de millones en redes seguras, confiables y resistentes para conectar a los consumidores a energía cada vez más limpia.
Con dibujos de GIS, letreros y altavoces, cerca de 50 personas realizaron un acto de presión para que estas empresas energéticas mantengan su compromiso de proveer energía sostenible. Vecinos del área se mostraron molestos durante la manifestación de esta mañana.
Las personas hacen negocios y esto es completamente perturbador para la vida personal. Realmente no les importa. Lo único que les importa egoístamente, lo que quieren hacer y armar una rabieta en medio de la calle.
Líderes de esta organización comentaron que seguirán estas manifestaciones hasta lograr un cambio.
Desde el centro de San Diego, para KCY Noticias, reportó Maciel Chaidez.
Decenas de manifestantes se dieron cita para protestar contra la compañía de energía solar Sempra y San Diego Gas and Electric. Los manifestantes bloquearon parte de la avenida 8 justo frente a las oficinas de Sempra, buscando demostrar su inconformismo con dibujos hechos con tiza en la calle, alegando que ambas compañías están promoviendo el aumento del costo de gas al exportar gas natural licuado y a la misma vez están colaborando con el calentamiento global al excavar combustibles fósiles.
No están pensando en el futuro de los jóvenes y del planeta. Yo tengo 3 nietos y quiero que ellos van a crecer en un mundo seguro, un mundo limpio. Y esta empresa está haciendo difícil el futuro para todos nosotros.
Además, dicen que los directivos de las compañías se están enriqueciendo, cobrando altas tarifas por el consumo de electricidad, mientras los sandieguinos sufren con el calor intenso que ahora se siente en la región.